How's it going, guys? So today we're going to set up this enclosure here for my young Alpine Blotch Blue Tongues. If you recall a few videos back, I set up this one up here for my Western Blue Tongues. I've changed it around a bit since then and we're going to see what we can do in here. So let's get started. So just like in the Westerns enclosure, we're going to go for a nice naturalistic look. So we're going to start with some substrate on the bottom, then some nice plant cover, some naturalistic looking hides, and see what we can do. So first things first, going to start with the substrate. And as always, my favourite substrate for these kind of blueies is Yuki mulch. So I'm going to give it a nice layer in there so they can have some nice burying and it covers everything. So I'm always going to try and film these kinds of videos whenever I can, just to give you guys some inspiration, ideas, that sort of thing. Just sharing the knowledge, and hopefully you guys can share some with me as well, and we can all learn and continue to better the care of our animals. Alright, so let's set it up. We've got a bunch of stuff here, a bunch of hollow logs, rocks. We're going to see what looks good. Got these big cool fake plants I'm probably going to put in there. So let's get started. We'll start with the big hide first. I think we'll use this log. I'll put it in here, like this somehow. Now I want to keep it away from being directly under the basking light because they'll get too close and they'll get burnt. So we'll try and put it somewhere far away. So that would be pretty cool, I think. I like that, they can hide under there. This log's completely hollow. Let's see, I've got these fake plants, gum leaves here. Maybe I'll use one of these rocks. We can come back to that later. I'll get some rocks here for them to bask around. These rocks will be good too because they can scratch their nails down on there, so you don't have to trim them or anything like that. It's good enrichment for them. They can climb over it, give it stuff like that. We'll get another rock in here. Oh, that should be pretty cool, I think. The gum leaves are really good because they give it a nice natural look, and they're not going to harm the reptiles either if they come into contact with it. Something like that up in the side would be pretty cool, I think. With enclosures like this for blue tongues, you just want to keep it really simple. I've got all the Yuki mulch, as you can see, built up to the side there, and that's so they can bury right in at the back and get right into it. See if we can bury this log. So let's put in this big plant, see how they like it. Probably put it in the back here, keep it away from the light. You don't really want any plastic plantage near a heat source. You don't want any of those plastic fumes happening. Yeah, something like that would be pretty cool. They can climb in through that. It'll be like a nice big bush for them to retreat under. I think that'll be pretty cool. Apart from food and water, I think that'll be about it. I reckon that's pretty cool. So let's see how the lizards look in there. And just before we do that, for some extra aesthetic, we'll add in some gum leaves to give it a really nice natural leaf litter look on the ground. It's also be some good enrichment for the animals. So here are the little blue tongues. These guys are absolutely awesome. Some beautiful Alpine Blotch blueies. They've just both recently shed. They're growing really nicely. And this girl here is so colourful. It's unbelievable. It's so cool. So let's put them in and see how they like it. They should do really well in here. Let's have a look. We're over here on the warm side. Watch them explore. So putting them in here like this will be like a bit of a sensory overload for them. It'd be cool to watch their little brains work. So this enclosure is set up with a lot of good enrichment for the animals, and that's really what you want, guys. You want enclosures that really mentally stimulate the animals in a lot of different ways. So in here, they have a few multiple different hides they can use. They can go in this log here. I'll put another log down here that they can hide. It's pretty hidden though. As they can just bury in the substrate. Even the substrate itself is enrichment. A substrate they can interact with and dig and move in. All that is good for their brain, as opposed to just having them on paper or something like that. It's something they can't physically mess with. as well as with the hides, they can climb up on top of that, and it's good for them as well as the decorations like these leaves on the side. They can smell them and interact with them. It's a different sort of texture for them. Same with the rocks. They can use the rocks to scrape down their nails, climb over, taste. You can scent the rocks with different scents for them, all that sort of stuff, as well as the leaf litter on the ground, something different for them to interact with. And it's also really natural, so it's what they do in the wild. That's what we want to do, guys. We want to try and recreate the wild as best we can. Obviously, fake plants are not exactly wild, but the process of them interacting with that item, that's the most important. One day I'll get there with the plants, but at the moment I'm just hopeless at keeping them alive. So yeah, that's the enclosure. I'll put in their food and water later for them. For now, let's just watch them exploring around. They should love it. Guys, these two enclosures are now done. Of course, if you remember from the last video, Western Blue Tongues. And just to point out, I've changed a few things around. I do this every few days or weeks. Like you can see the different plants in here now, just enrichment for them. So they're done, looks awesome, and now these guys are done, it looks great. The blotchy enclosure, there's one there. They're exploring around, still getting used to it. There you have it, guys. That's what we try and strive for here. Nice naturalistic looking enclosures with a lot of enrichment for the animals. Just trying to keep getting better and better every day. So hopefully it gave you some inspiration, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good one.